Anshu, are you ready?
Yes, I'm all ready.
Yes. Great good morning in USA, Canada. Good afternoon in UK. I can see a couple of people from UK already there. Europe, Africa. Good evening in Asia Pacific. India, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Afghanistan. Feeling pain about it. But we have probably some people from different parts of the world are joining. And late good evening in Australia. I can see Ash already there. Ash is the one who connected me to the guest of honor today. I proudly welcome someone very versatile, dynamic, a leader par excellence. I would say a leader which is distinguished leader of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, India and Indians around the world today are celebrating Engineers Day. It's a very powerful day of life. And on this Engineers Day, I have with me the distinguished engineer of the world called Anshu from New York, USA. What else could have I asked God to have someone on this day to be with me on an engineer's day, and that to a distinguished engineer? I did not plan it. I did not know it. My Wednesdays are fixed. We fixed Wednesday, we got it, and I had no clue about it. But they say when everything gets connected, it automatically gets connected. And when I got up early morning, I could see it's an engineer's day. I said, my God, how did it happen? God helps those who help themselves. We just did it, and she is here. My folded hands to Anshu this morning in USA, 8 a.m. to be here. And thank you so much for joining, Anshuji.
No, thank you so much, Mr. Bakshi. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. So firstly, happy Engineers Day to all the engineers. As at home also say, technology will rule the world and we are going to rule the world, guys. So thank you for the opportunity for having this forum and talking about the DNA of leadership. And I'm really thrilled. And when you were talking about who all have joined all over the world, it's like fascinating. I'm a simple engineer, guys and gals. So namaskar.
Anshu, I am addressing you as Anshu. You can address me as DK.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
no need to have a formality of an, Mr. and Anshuji, and let's talk about Anshu and DK. Fantastic. That sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, 7.5 million engineers around the world, approximately 2 million engineers in the US, and around 2.4 million engineers in India. So when we look at 2.4 plus 2 million, so it sounds like 4.5 million population of engineers in two countries, India and US. And this census is of probably 2018, 2019, and it must have increased by now. So let me quickly take you through about my guest of honor. A formal quick introduction. Anshu is a distinguished engineer, director of cloud solutions at Google, advising clients on digital transformational journey with disruptive cloud solutions, focusing on business outcomes. And as you know, during COVID, BC is different, but DC has been a high level of disruption around the world. And she has been leading this role at Google. However, prior to this, she was vice president CTO, again distinguished engineer for financial market at another great organization called IBM. And IBM has been part of Anshu, probably complete DNA, more than 18 years. Ladies and gentlemen, when we look at her, she has spearheaded a lot of work around the global world in terms of global analytics, AI technical sales organizations. She worked for software as a service and software client architect leader. She has been known as one of the strategists on software client architect worldwide. In her role, Anshu has been responsible for getting IBM revenues from its top 600 clients, and she had a team of architects worldwide. When you look at her profile, she has been working around different continents, including Africa, where she has done a lot of work, and other side on the Middle East. When I look at Asia Pacific, when you look at US, and when we look at Africa, and other side when we look at Middle East. So her role has been with various cultures, various colors, various genders, various nationalities, and of course, various religions. Professionally speaking, when she got this role, because she worked earlier for two companies for a very short period, which were again General Electric and Hughes, but her main DNA, her main spread of her experience, expertise, and her tenure of building people around the world has been IBM, a star performer, a high potential.
I don't know about that.
High potential leader. And when you look at her, she was in fact IBM's ambassador to New York University, New York. She received very prestigious, awards, including 50 Outstanding Asian American Award of 2017. When you look at her publications, many times, IBM 100% Club 3 times. When you look at her, outstanding Asian American list, Business Award, A, B, C, D, Women of Color, All-Star Technology, a couple of times. When you look what she has done, it's amazing. I can keep on and on, but then I need to move forward. That is the background of the distinguished engineers I have today on my show. And for me personally, it's an excitement and a thrill. And I have always in my life, when I started growing, did my master's, I said, I missed something in my life. I could never become an engineer. Whereas I must have recruited around more than 5,000 engineers around the world in multiple 17, 18 countries. And this was always in my mind that I missed something in this life that I could not become an engineer. And when my two children were growing, the first thing I told them, whatever you do, the first is you need to become an engineer. And my younger son did engineering from India, and the other one from the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. That is how I made sure there, because engineers have a deep sense of understanding, and when they become the leaders, they become much better leaders than normal professionals. That is the salute, Anshu, I give to the engineers. Anshu, my question is that I did a research. I did not know Anshu, frankly speaking. Of course, we come from a similar background. Both of us belong to a place which is common between us. But when I was researching Anshu, I could see that you truly became a great technological leader, a business converted along with technology, the business leadership. And you continuously kept making an impact on the technology and people, known as a business leader of substance. I am keen to know about your that childhood. that young child in you when you were born, your parents, your mentors, and how did you finally embark into what you are today?
You have told a lot. I don't think I've done so much, but thank you so much. Thank you so much. So as a kid, yeah, that's a very good question you have, DK. As a kid, I was interested in math and science, but I was always very curious. It's curiosity that grows. It's very much curiosity. And how do you always think about small problems in what you see around? So my parents, I have to give a lot of credit to my parents growing up. My mother was in Srinagar, she was a professor in chemistry, and my father was in tourism and fisheries department. And she was a big role model for me. She's no more, but she was a great role model for me, because I always used to see her kind of always striving for the best and striving for ours for the best, right? And the other thing which our parents gave us, and this I'm talking about 80s, right, is independence. Do what you feel like, do it, but do it best. I think that's very important for a parent from the childhood to say, and there was no difference between a boy and a girl in our family. Like, before it was like, oh, girls cannot do this, and there was no difference, not at all, ever. So it's a lot of that family we grew in. And as you know, I come from Srinagar, Kashmir, and there it is a community of people we have, and what we embody is education. So every time when you even are growing up, it's all about education and what you're doing. You're laughing because that's what comes, and that's what you have instilled in your kids. So that was one thing. And the other thing I think which attributed to it is also, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm afraid of just one person, that's God. And I can take any, I love to take challenges. I love to not to follow the path. I was a rebel also. Now the other side of me, I was a rebel. My mother used to be, oh my God, kisse pala pada hai kind of a person. So that's what I studied in Presentation Convent, thanks to great education they gave me. And then went for engineering, was in Chandigarh for a while, got like not my piece of cake, and went to Russia. That was the turning point for me. The confidence that it gave me, the education that it gave me, and then was working in London also for a while, then came to US. So that's my story. And when I was after my graduation of engineering, married a wonderful guy, Yogi Kak, and he has been a big support for me. So that's kind
Wonderful.
of journey.
Wow.
So two things I'll say, never, to the new generation, never be afraid of taking decisions, take some risks, and sky is the limit for you. Dream big.
Wow. Anshu, looking at your mentor and talking about your mom, I could see some of the emotions we all as human being go through, that emotional connect. And I can tell you, your mom, who has been your leader, who has been your mentor, is watching you from the top. And she must be excited there to see you living your life and making an impact in the global world. We respect your mom, and there's nothing equivalent to mom in life. Mother is one of the biggest quality of life for an individual. I miss my mom. 2019, she left us, and whatever we are today is only because of mom. Others have contributed a lot, but she's number one women power. And when you talked about your sense of curiosity in your mind, that's where you try to grow. And then you said you did engineering from Chandigarh, from India, but somehow you did not feel well. It's my cup of tea. how did you land in Russia? How did you land in John Hopkins? I see them. And I would like to know your interest in engineering at that stage.
Hmm.
And did you really plan it, or it started evolving, revolving, going, growing, and glowing as a student of engineering?
Yeah, no, I actually wanted to become an engineer, that's for sure. I wanted to become an engineer, but it was interesting that the kind of engineering I wanted to do was robotics. And it's a
Oh,
very funny story. I really wanted to do robotics engineering. So this, when I went to Russia, so I was like, I want to go into robotics. And thanks to my brother, he was like, oh, you want to do robotics? I don't know where robotics will be in next 5 to 6 years. This I'm talking about 85, 86 timeframe. And he said, this computer science looks very good. It was new. Every computer science was very new that time. And I'll make everybody laugh. And this is a reality. Because, and my father was like, you know what, take computer science. That's the best thing. And I thought he will have some really a decision that what is in computer science? How does he know about computer science? And he's like, people say each computers have to be in an air conditioned room, so you won't have to feel the hot weather in Delhi and all that stuff. So take computer science, you will always sit in an air conditioned room. But that was not the reason. I had to make this comment. It always comes to my mind. So it was computers was intriguing because it was that how are we going to change the future with computers, right? Before you used to do all this maths and all that stuff, and computers came and it was like a calculator. It was done very fast. And then it was the programming. I studied at that time. If somebody from that era is listening, we studied Pascal, we studied then C, we studied C++, we studied Java later. It's a field which is always evolving, and you have to be a lifelong learner in this field. You can never stop learning in this field. Like what we learned, like even 10 years ago, is modified and changed to now what it is new. So if you ask me, if the engineers, this is an engineer's day, so let me take you to the history of it. So there used to be Basic, there used to be COBOL, there used to be Pascal. Now people even don't know these languages. Then came C, came C++, came Java. Then came this whole distributed system, client server and all that stuff. Then cloud, and now cloud. And I'm working for one of the best cloud companies, Google at present, and I'm happy I joined them. So came cloud and data, AI. It's all changing the world, the way we are seeing the world. So that's the thing about that. It would be always evolving. And it was in its infancy when I joined. So to be honest with you, our generation has gone through this whole journey of where we are today. I remember writing firmware for cell phones. There were no cell phones, and we were the first in Bell Northern Research to write cell phone firmware. So that's like, and now the evolution and the leadership in technology has changed it and is at a very different, like you cannot live without a cell phone now, right?
mhm.
So what I'll say to, as far as engineering is concerned, be a lifelong learner. It is curiosity. It is changing. It never makes you feel dull that, oh my God, I'm doing the same job again. Never it will make you feel that, because it's so much evolving. You have to be on your tippy toes. And every day I get up and say how much I have to learn. Really, I mean it. How much I have to learn still. So it's just that maybe it was a DNA in me to become an engineer. I don't know, but that's how it evolved for me.
Yeah, Anshu, a couple of things are coming repeatedly from you, and that's giving us a clear reinforcement in our lives. One is coming clearly: curiosity, curiosity, curiosity. And it's, ladies and gentlemen around the world, whosoever is watching us now or whosoever is going to watch us later, the amount of curiosity you show every time is going to be phenomenally great for you for the continuous process of moving to the next level of excellence. That's what Anshu is trying to tell us. And again, she is talking about, and it's like getting into hammered in our mind, that you need to be a lifelong learner. And I always repeat, and I feel when I look at myself, I'm 61, I'm still the student of management and leadership, and every day I learn. And I keep talking for the last 18 months in the world, the skill set what we had in February 2020 did not have in June 21. And in June 22, the skill sets are going to be changed. And I have placed a lot of skill sets which is changing, and I am still changing. Just 1 week back, I was in Vizag doing a leadership program, and I gave a new skill set, which is going to be probably for next 10 months or so. But it will keep on evolving and changing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what this technology leader is talking about. And I am coming back to Anshu. When I look at your journey of excellence in the corporate world, and then I see your initial stage in Bell Northern Research, Hughes, and General Electric, 6-7 years. At that time, intranet and internet. It was a time of 1997, 1999. You can, ladies and gentlemen, you can understand the timing which I am talking about. And those who are born, who are millennials, who are going to watch us, and they should know that here is a producer and director of what you see today in life. I again repeat, here is a producer and director of what you see today in life, because she just mentioned that she wrote down about cell phones probably 30 years back. So I would like to know from you, what kind of challenges you had that time? How did it change your attitudes, behaviors, change gears? And what was not there? And it will give some of the people who are actually looking at you as a role model a possibility to think about excelling in the world. Quick, brief, short.
Yeah, no, it was a very different world that time. It was a very different world that time. What changes technology? I think that is what we have to all think. What changes technology is business. It is the disruption is in business at each and every point. Because if you ask me 10 years ago, what the business leaders, what my clients, I love my clients, they're God for me. And what they wanted that time and what they want today, 10 years later, is different. They have to keep up to speed. They have to face this world. The average, if you ask me, the top 10 companies which were that time when I was growing up, only 3 of them are now here. Only 3 of them are now here. Wow. And this disruption, whoever goes with this disruption is the leader. Leadership is all about, let me talk about a good leadership, how I feel a good leadership. Yeah. The good leadership is not about how many followers you have. It's about how many leaders you create. Wow. Right? It's about empowerment to others. Yeah. And how you empower the others and how you empower the teams to get onto that thinking of how will I change this customer's business for the better, right? So now if we talk about the engineering journey, as you said, it was mainframe, and still mainframe is there, right? And I love mainframe. It's not that I don't like mainframe, but there are some things that mainframe does and some things that mainframe doesn't do. It's about workloads. What is the best for mainframe? What is not best for mainframe, right? Game client server. So the client server world was, there was a server and there was a client, and we used to get onto that and work everything. Now, if you see, the things have changed. It's cloud. I don't know where those servers are sitting. I don't know where that network is. Believe me, I have written so much TCP IP protocols. And now if you ask a new kid on the block to write TCP IP, they don't need to know that, right? Because networking is there. It's in cloud and everything is. So I think it's for the best. because the business people have to think about how they are going to run their business better, how they are going to have this disruptive mindset, because the competition is so furious and fast. Who knew when I was growing up that I can go on a computer and order, to be honest with you, do all my shopping on a computer? So Amazon changed, the e-commerce changed that. It was not just Amazon, e-commerce changed that. And that was the e-commerce boom in 90s, right? Everything went on to e-commerce. So we are all now even my mom, who was 86, used to have an iPad and work on it. Can you imagine? Or my mother-in-law, hi to her, she is on her iPad and doing Sudoku and looking at Facebook, right? So who knew this is going to change? Now, if we come to the business kind of world, you have know your customer. Customer centricity is the key. The businesses need to know their customer in order to provide them the best. So it's a more of a, what I'm trying to say, it's a more of an outside in approach, and how technology is helping that, from the business to the technology rather than from technology to the business. Before, technology used to be a side, in the side, some people working in a bank. Now a bank will not work without technology. In fact, banks are telling, we are a fintech platform, we are a technology platform, and finance is one of the applications we are serving. Look at the change in mindset. So that kind of a thing which has happened, which is that technology is driving business and business needs technology, and how the technologists like me and my colleagues and all the engineers around the world can help them to be better, can help them to get into the various ventures, various platforms, various things like embedded finance and all that stuff. That's what it's all about now. I gave you a long answer to a short question because this is passionate. This is my favorite topic.
Anshu, it's making a greater sense. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever is watching, I can see I got Ajay from Germany, and I got Scott already from Michigan watching you. Yeah, Scott Friedman. Nice to see you here. And I can see a lot of people. Ravi Saigal, President of India Thai Chamber of Commerce, watching from Bangkok. I can see Kunpur watching from Bangkok. And I can see the Singapore. Yeah, Sanjay is already there. Now, it's making greater sense. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what's happening? She just talked one important thing which is hitting me. She said, I love my customers. Wow. This is what we teach in the classrooms. Loving your customers is where you become mad about it and you start serving from heart, and you start looking towards the customer into a very different perspective of life. And when she talked about this change and the disruption, that's so fascinating. I can go on and on, but I need to go to another question, Anshu. When I look at your journey of IBM, 18 years, ladies and gentlemen, today the new generation millennials talk about, oh, I'm not going to be there for 2 decades. I'm not going to be there for 10 years. 1.5 years, 1.5 years, and you are happy to look for another opportunity. And here is a leader, a business leader, a technological leader, spending 18 years in an organization called IBM. I would like quickly to tell us, how was this IBM as an organization for you, and how did you scale to new heights, become a high potential engineer, high potential leader? And I understand, I will try to combine it. I understand during this period, you did a lot of mentoring around the world with different people, different nationalities, different colors, different ages. How did you go in terms of mentoring, making them part of the business plan, making them part of the technological platform, ever changing, every day changing? How did it happen? Can you quickly talk about this?
Yeah, definitely. So I think the organizations, it's important to, it's not that I did the same job, and I would say this, don't do the same job for a long period of time. You have to evolve. So I used to, in IBM itself only, I used to change my role, my job every 2 to 3 years, 4 years. I used to change my role. But because it was such a huge organization, so it was whether I was doing cloud or I was doing AI, data and AI for the next, then I went into financial services. So you see, it's a huge change happening, but I was in the organization and learned a lot there. I learned a lot there. I have my mentors and I have to thank them and name them. John Alessio, my role model, my mentor, Lauren States, Katie Keene. So the organizations are built such that you have to make people grow, right? As I said, leadership, what I've learned in leadership is growing people. So if there is a help in growing people, why would people see outside? Now I'm in Google and I have to tell you, the culture in Google, I have been only a month, is amazing. Amazing, amazing culture. They welcome you. There are such thought leadership happening in Google. They are with their industry solutions. They are making a huge headway. So look how Google has changed the thinking of technology. We are going to give you industry solutions. We are going to give you for mortgage management. We are going to give you a solution for lending. I will start naming the products. I don't want to get into that, but they are giving solutions for the industry. Similarly, they are giving solutions for healthcare. Similarly, they are giving solutions for banking, whether it's banking, whether it's capital markets, whether it is payments, whether it's insurance. That is the change. That is the mindset that we have, right? And that is where we need to think about, okay, what is cloud? Is cloud, guys. That's what intrigued me to come to Google, to be honest with you. Cloud is cloud. But how can I help my client to get onto the cloud faster, quicker, and easier? That is what these solutions are giving. It's not, I don't want to, it's just like, will it be better that I have a cooked meal and nice and I sit in a restaurant and I eat it, or I go to a restaurant and then I go into the kitchen and cook it and come back? Why would I do that? Right? So that's kind of the future, what it is. Now, coming to the mentors and coming to working with the teams worldwide, I'll tell you one thing I love about this engineering profession. The base is the same. Whether you are in US, whether you are in India, whether you are in Timbuktu, I had a wonderful team of people all over the world. The base is the same. We are speaking the same language of technology, right? We are speaking the same language of curiosity. And it's important. I always used to tell my team and the people I have mentored, if I could do it, why can't you do it, guys? Why can't you do it? Everybody can do it. It's just you have to have the focus to do it. It's the focus, it is the discipline, it is and you don't have to, this I've learned throughout my career. I never work for my promotion. I don't care. I work for how it will make a difference, how the vision that we have set, we can accomplish it as a team. A lone person can do nothing, literally nothing. It's the team that does the thing. And we are, as leaders, just the enablers of that team. That's it. This is what my message is to my mentors. If I could do it, you will be able to do it. And it's the team effort, work with passion, and have curiosity, discipline, curiosity.
Sure, while I'm talking to a technological leader, but I'm getting someone to talk to me this evening, and ladies and gentlemen, hope you will appreciate that and agree with me that I think I am talking to someone who's a business leader, who's a leadership trainer and a coach is talking only about people, people, and people. Why I'm saying this is when Anshu is talking about it is the team which makes a difference. And when she said she's mentoring people around the world, and the people are of the same categories and same engineering background, it remains common. It's common. It's common. We are all same around the world. We are born in the same way. It's only I'm born in India, somebody is born in New York, or somebody is born in Durban, or somebody is born in Toronto. But our things remain the same. Having said that, when she is very humble, very nicely, she is acknowledging those mentors, and she talked about John Elliso and other mentors who mentored her to be what she is today. She's acknowledging that as a great leader. That talks about an authentic leader who is acknowledging those people who added value to her. And then there are people, and I can tell you, I have spoken to some of them who have worked with you in various organizations, who are acknowledging and writing in the social media, wow, it has been a great to work with Anshu, and she has mentored me. So this is going to carry on. And that is the reason she is saying leaders are those who create leaders. Leaders are those who empower leaders. We have come for a limited time to this world. We also have to leave. But then Anshu is one, with great respect, she has created leaders around the world. Anshu, with that background, and then another aspect which she is again and again hitting is that change, disruption, future of digital world, and coming to Google with a different ball game altogether, because Google, I have a lot of respect for the Google CEO. Again, he's an Indian and very great respect for him. What is Google doing in the world today? Cloud, which we did not know about this cloud 3 years back. And then in next 10 years, where will we be? As we were starting, we said, I was never on the social media 18 months back, and I'm here today. Anshu, my question to you comes again. Now, when I look at you as a combination, a package, a packet. Anshu as a combination of, T, technology excellence, E, education excellence, B, business excellence, D, digital excellence, and S is strategic excellence. So when I see you as E, B, D, S, now I come from a quality management. I've been trained by Dr. Taguchi, the living guru of quality management. We are only 8 people in the country. And when I look at your definition of Q, and when I look at your thinking and what you have just shared with us on the leadership, and how do you see, because I have in your portfolio, I saw that you have written 2 books. One is Value Realization from Efficient Software Development, Deployment rather, and IBM Cloud Computing Reference Architect. How do you respond to my Q definition of leadership and your leadership journey? Because I would like to share this. The audience today, who are again, there will be people who may be of my age or middle age, because when we enter corporation today, there are 4 levels of employees. One is 50 plus, there's 35 plus, and there's 25 plus, and there's new generation. So it's a different ball game altogether to work with 4 generations. How do you see this happening today? And what is your response on this Q-defined leadership?
Yeah, so there are leadership is of 2, especially in engineering. I think it's very important to understand there are 2 paths of leadership, right? There is one, the technology leadership, like we have like Open Group has, which is a consortium. Like you have the certified, as let me take architects, technology architects. You have the accredited, you have certified, you have senior certified, and then you have DEs and you have fellows, right? So that is a path. Nobody reports, sometimes even nobody even reports to you, but how are you making the change is by influence, is by the leadership of technology, right? And then there is this other path, and this is very important for the engineers to understand. One is not better than the other, right? It's what you want to do. There is the management path where you go and you become a manager, you become a director, you become a VP, you become a senior VP, and so on and so forth, right? And these nowadays in the companies, whether you talk about Google, where I'm working today, or you talk about IBM, or you talk about Microsoft, or you talk about Amazon, or you talk any company, technology company, there are these two parallel paths going, right? So it's very important for you to sit back and think, what is my DNA? What can I excel in, and what will I do the best? Now, when you reach in the senior leaderships of stages of technology leadership, what you are thinking, you are not thinking always about the bits and bytes of technology, but you're always like, I constantly think about how can this solution, how can we define solutions for our clients that will help the business of the clients, right? Let's take example in payments. Payments has had a huge change, right? There were 3 or 4 credit cards, and like there was Amex, there was Visa, there was Discover, there was, and they used to run the whole thing. Look at how things have changed. And this was recently when I went to India, and I'm carrying money in my pocket. This is really, this stuck with me. I'm carrying money in my pocket, and the redi wala, the sabzi wala on a redi is telling me, madam, we take only 2, like he was talking in Hindi, hum do hi lete hain, ya to Paytm lete hain ya Google Pay lete hain. Isn't this fascinating?
Yeah.
It was fascinating for me that some of them didn't take the cash. They took either Google Pay. No, some of them took cash, but I had like the regular, the Visa, Master, Amex, all the cards. I said, ye nahi lete ho, ye lete ho? No. Paytm, Google Pay, that's what we take. Look at this. How did Square, for the micro merchants, how did Square change the way we are doing the whole business for the micro merchants? A small little piddly thing attached to your cell phone, you swipe a card, go. Right? So where I'm going is that this is the change that is happening, and the change that we are on. Right? So the leadership, as you mentioned, all these leaderships, they are combining together. A technology person is nothing until and unless that person doesn't know business. So as much as I need to learn technology, I need to learn business. I need to learn how the banks, how the capital markets, how the payments, how the insurance, how medical, how they work in order to give them a solution. And at the base of everything, the gold mine is the data. Wow. If you have data, you are the king. You have data, you can do AI, right? People talk AI. Until you don't have a clean data, you don't have strong data, you're going to do nothing with AI. Right? So how the whole package of business, of technology and leadership in technology and business, people have to embody that in order to get onto that next journey. And that's what, to be honest with you, I was a hardcore technologist, and I started thinking of business. And that's why I took the financial services. And I was working throughout for financial services clients, by the way. And thank you guys. Thanks all the banks and for keeping my job. But that's where leadership is now. Even a manager. Now let's take the other part, management. Until and unless the manager also doesn't know technology, they're not going to excel, guys. They're not going to excel. So it's kind of it's morphing, but still you can keep your paths at the same time, be strategic, be a technology leader, and be a leader as far as management, and get your organizations and your clients to this new evolution.
Ah, what a fascination of knowing from someone a package of E, B, S, T, technology D, and what a topic and what a sharing she did. And I am again coming to another aspect of it. When I look at you, Anshu, when I look at your professional pursuits and professional journey of excellence, and I see you continuously as a high potential professional, and you won many accolades, you won many awards, and you were always with, I call it 3C, with your competence, capability, and conviction of putting your foot forward. And I cannot forget here another aspect of you when I mentioned that you becoming among the top 2 women distinguished engineers in the US and from Indian origin. And when I look at your prestigious ambassadorship of IBM at New York University, quickly share your feel, zeal, and steel, because you're stealing the show all around, of acknowledgement of such moments of life. How do you feel?
Oh, it is. I have to be honest. It is. You feel that you're rewarded. You feel that you feel good about it. You really feel good about it. And I'll be very honest here. The acknowledgement, one of the acknowledgement when in 2009. It was a very tough and a strong journey, and all the distinguished engineers will know it because everybody has to go through it. It's not that it's given you in a platter. You have to go through boards and all that. That was actually the moment that I felt like I was happy with what I've accomplished. Yeah, it is, and especially for the technical people, it's really helpful because it gives you a confirmation that yes, you're on the right path, you're doing it. So all the organizations should do it very much for the technical people, like, give them that boost, that whatever they're doing the right thing.
Anshu, I come to that situation when a child comes back home and tells mom, I got a star, I got a star. And the mom immediately hugs the child and kisses on the forehead in our Indian tradition. Ladies and gentlemen, around the world, adults need more stars. Adults literally cry when they get into happiness of their own streams of developing something, creating something, crafting something. So hence, the recognition and reward is one of the biggest catalyst of motivation than money or anything else. Here is an example. Here is an example of a high potential leader. And when I was asking her feel, zeal, and stealing the show, you could see the amount of happiness, her cheeks, her nose, her eyes.
Oh my God.
Everything was getting into action, giving that feel that we all need a pat on the back. Therefore, the role of leaders is to continuously keep recognizing, completely keep patting on the back, and making sure that your teams are empowered, are engaged, and are given that encouragement, again, given that and again, to excel in the world, which is highly competitive. Lovely. I see a lot of people already joined. Ravindra Kashru is again from REC Schindler. I see Vinod Pandita has also joined. Avinash has joined. They're all business people and they're all engineers. I see a lot of engineers already here. And so I come to one of the most toughest challenges of lifetime. We all as human race got last 17, 18 months. And that too, all of a sudden, unbelievable, unheard, unknown. And we all got into that situation. And I could see you also contributing a lot during this period, this COVID days. And when I see you, what did you do during this COVID tough, difficult, strange days? And also, how do you see future around the next 5 years? Will it be a decade of unbelievable, unheard, unknown, unthinkable technology around the world?
Actually,
Because let me complete, because the world is changing every day and future seems to be supersonic. I call it supersonic speed of skill and scale.
no, you're absolutely right. COVID, it was tough. It was tough for everybody, and I hope we are done with it soon. It's still going on and on. So, hats off to all the doctors and all who are taking us through this journey. But yes, so COVID has changed, will change a lot the way people will start working. It will, because before I know in finance, my husband is in finance, and he never used to work from home, never, right? And now a lot of people, the companies, the first thing what I saw when COVID hit was the companies, and they came to us for solutions. The companies came back and say, okay, how now we put the infrastructure together so that people can connect from home into the network of their companies, right? So that you're working from home and you can connect and you can work very seamlessly, right? You saw how otherwise how many people used to be like this on Zoom, and how many people were on WebEx or Google Meet and all that stuff. Now this has become kind of the part of the way we are doing business. Even for one meeting, an hour meeting, we used to fly from one end to another end, and it was me myself too, one end to another end of the country for 1 hour meeting. That's going to change. That's going to take kind of, so what I'm trying to say, it's going to be a huge hybrid world. It's going to be a huge hybrid way we are doing our jobs. So some will be doing from home, work from home. Sometimes we will be going to our offices. But at the end of the day, it is about how we are going to deliver what we have promised our bosses and our companies to deliver. I think that is what the focus will be. Wherever you work from doesn't matter. Another big thing that has happened during this COVID is, before, transformation was, okay, we will get on a digital transformation, but we will take our time and we'll take like 4 or 5 hours, 5 years to get onto that journey. Now our clients want to happen it yesterday, right? Because if in your data centers you don't have the personnel and something goes wrong, you're a toast. So how you can automate what we call as the automated data centers, how we can automate that using AI, right? How you can automate things faster so that everything goes on. I remember one of the very high executives, I cannot name the company, he was the CIO of a firm. He said, where do you see the future? And I'll always remember that. He says, I see the future, having fun on and sleeping on the beach and reading a book of where will I take my company in future, and everything that is behind me runs. And if it doesn't run, it gives me preemptively a message, something is going to get wrong. Not it's already wrong, but it's how prevention. How are we going to prevent all this? Very simple to say, very tough to do, right? So 2 things, the way it will be a very hybrid world, hybrid model of world, what we will be working in. A lot of businesses are going to get on this digital transformation faster, and they want to do it much earlier, and at the end of the Google Cloud is the way to go. And so that's kind of what I would talk about.
Anshu, because we are racing at the time now, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen, in case you have quick questions, please put it on the platform. I have just 2 questions, and then I can take Only few questions because my guest of honor has to move for another meeting. I want to ask a question, Anshu, to you. When we look at you as a strong technology excellence leader, you have had various talents around the world where you mentored, you work with them. How do you see India as one of the youngest talents in the world? When you see our engineers, I mean, I'm not talking only engineers, I'm talking about as a human capital. Do you see Indian talent shaping up to become, to go, grow and glow in the world in a highly dynamic environment?
Oh,
Where do you see them having some of the things which they need to align to be globally acceptable, globally aligned, and globally, respected?
I am telling India has talent. India, I'm so proud of what talent India has. India has a lot of talent. I think where, not all, but I'm just generalizing, where it needs help is in a couple of ways. One is leadership. So how can you develop those technology leaders, and how can you develop leaders on the whole? Discipline, because sometimes if I have to go on a meeting, I'm 5 minutes early, right? And sometimes I faced when I was there working with the teams, like 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, and kind of la. Discipline of work, discipline to give the deliverables, discipline to how to become a professional, right? I think discipline, leadership, if these two, and focus they have, if these two get into the whole bringing up of these newborn technology leaders, that will be very helpful. India has a ton of technology leaders. And I'm proud of Indian engineers and what they're doing around the world.
So that means you are telling DK you are in the right profession.
You are.
You are. Not only in India, but globally, because I am a master of leadership. I'm a master of, having a similar situation.
Oh, you have a lot. Your business will be booming, DK.
No, I have been doing, ladies and gentlemen, you see all my shows, not a single dollar, not a single INR, not a single Thai baht, all free. But then I am coming back because I need to earn for me and for my teams, because my organization, Global Talent, has to grow. And you are all global talent. And I am going to work with you on building you global talent, which Anshu is talking about, that India has the focus, talent has the focus, capabilities there, but there is something which is lacking on discipline, which is lacking on leadership. I think we need to work at engineering college level, we need to work at school level, we need to work at business school level or school level and the college level and the university level. And of course, in the corporate also, in order to make our talent respectable, acceptable, and aligned to the global world. As a global Indian, I always talk about India has talent, but we lack self-discipline. We Indians in India, sorry to say, and I again repeat, Indians in India lack self-discipline. The same Indian, when he goes to any part of the world,
I totally agree,
is much stronger.
No, yeah, and to continue on that, look at today, all the leaders of whether it is Google, whether it is IBM, whether it is Microsoft, whether it is Adobe, all is led by those engineers who have taken their engineering school in India. So
yeah, look at all those leaders, and this is a common thread, and they have been successful business leaders, and they also come from the same environment, but they change their style, they change their attitude, behavior, courage, commitment, delivery, excitement, flexibility. What all? That's my last question. Anshu,
I have to run. I have a very important meeting too.
You have another 5 minutes?
Okay.
5 minutes. Last question is women power. Hashtag women power, a global movement, is very close to my heart, as I shared with you. I do a lot of work on this, 20 chapters around the world, 1 million women coming on this platform.
Oh, beautiful.
And by 2024, I'm mad about it. How do you see women empowerment, and how do you see yourself supporting this cause?
Oh, I salute you for that, DK. Really. I really salute you for that, because it is very, very important. When I was growing up and I was in the technology, coming up in the technology space, not a lot of women there were. And by the time now, nearly, oh my, 28 years, not so much has changed. It's not that it has not changed, it is there, but I was thinking it would be now a huge leap that everywhere there will be women and taking leadership roles and all that stuff. Having said that, women have come a long way, but there is a lot of more room to go, really. And I'm telling you, I, as mother, as wife, we can all do it. We can all do it. And it's also, I think, for the men in the family to empower women. Let us start from home. Empower women to do what they want to do. It's sometimes, I have seen, and it's sometimes in the family also, it's like, oh, because now you have kids, don't do this job. Why not? I will do the kids, I will do the job. You will help me. The guy, it has to start from home. I'll tell once again, it has to start from home. The men have to empower the woman in their families to do whatever they want to do. And then women have to empower themselves. And they have to say, I can do it. That's it. That's what it takes. I can do it. I'll leave it at that. And thank you for it. This is a great cause.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I have no time to take your questions, but in Narula, Sawadee you can quickly...
Sawadee can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please go ahead, vote of thanks quick. In Narula is a Thai Sikh, born in Thailand, 5 generations in Thailand. He is the director of Global Talent Thailand right now, and he is proposing quick vote of thanks. Ian, yes. Please be brief. Sawadee
very brief, very brief. We'll keep it very brief.
Marsha, can you put his video on, quick?
Give me 1 minute, sir.
Yeah, and quick, in, because she
absolutely, absolutely, sir. We'll make it
quick and fast. Yeah, you can start. You can go ahead till the video is on because time is short. Yeah, Achan, in, please go ahead. Achan is like a professor. He studied from US. Yeah.
Yes, you can hear me now.
Yeah. Please.
Okay. Well, very quickly, happy Engineering Day.
Thank you.
And we are very proud of you. You make us all Indians very proud. And basically, if I may sum it up, again, very quickly, I know you are short of time. We have seen a lot of learning here, a great discourse, answering questions like, how do you deal with disruption? How do you deal with supersonic speed of change? How do you survive in such a tough, competitive world? How do you combine technological, leadership, and management skills in order to excel and make the company grows? How do you create trust and togetherness within an organization? How do you create a contagious leaders? So some of these important questions have been answered by our distinguished guest this evening. And for this, we thank you to know, and I'm not going to go into details. For those of you who would like, and we recommend highly, to please listen to this discourse this evening once again. It's a great learning. Kunanshuji, thank you, and a great thank you from all of us. It has been wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, and DK for getting me this platform, and really, I'm very grateful for that. And thanks to all the listeners here. Go, technology will rule the world. That's what I'll say. Thank you very much.
The final
Absolutely.
message:
Thank you.
technology is going to rule the world. Anshu, a technological leader with a business leader, strategic leader. Thank you from the global talent and new DNA of leadership. Sparing time, I think I actually needed 1.5 hours from you, and wish you all the best. And I will always be saying that scientists think about it, and engineers like you implement and execute in the world. Great salutes to all the engineers. Thank you very much on this honor.
Thank you, Anshuji. It has been great. You know, that sense of curiosity that you have instilled in us will always be with us. Be a lifelong learner. Thank you once again.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
Have a great
Thank
day,
you.
Anshu.
Namaskar.
Wish you all the best.
Bye-bye.
And we look forward to welcoming you in Thailand. Anshu.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
welcome.
will. I will.
Absolutely. You know, we'll organize a talk with some of the engineering kids here in university. Thank you, ma'am.
Perfect.
We
Thank
have
you
an
so much.
IIT Alumni Association. We have many associations.
Okay.
All the best. Anshu, have a great day. Ladies
Thank
and
you.
gentlemen, Anshu has to leave, and you will get a YouTube in next half an hour on the social platform. And thank you everyone for joining us and becoming part of this wonderful talk. Ladies and gentlemen, fascinating talk by someone who is admired as distinguished engineer. And I again wish all the engineers around the world a fascinating Engineers Day, and engineers execute it. Good luck and all the best, all parts of the world. And look forward to seeing you with another star business leader. And hopefully next DNA of leadership is going to be a Bollywood leader, well-known Bollywood leader, because I am not doing every Wednesday now DNA of leadership. It's another Bollywood leader who is going to be on the show. And thank you very much for joining and becoming part of it. Yes, Global Talent is continuously working on, and Saturdays, Women Power by Women Power, which you will be seeing on Saturday evening. Achanin, Kapur Magla, come for joining, and wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you. DK Bakshi, God bless you, because you bring in great people, and then we learn a lot. Thank you once again. Thank you, G.
All the best, those who are joined from different parts of the world, and enjoy the beauty of this talk, and YouTube will be available soon. I log off with great good luck to all of you. Thank you very much.